This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you guys, my good sim racing friends, are the real star of today's show. And we are here to talk about sim racing. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope everybody out there had themselves a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, so I hope you did too. So what is going on in sim racing? I'm going to start off with something completely not sim racing related, but I'm going to start it at the beginning of the show so that you guys can chime in on your thoughts. We see a lot of situations in racing where maybe somebody did a dive bomb. Maybe somebody spun somebody out. You know, those moments where you're like, you make the call, right or wrong, who's right, who's wrong. And then you get other moments where you have to question the sanity of some of the racers. And maybe it goes beyond just, is this a penalty moment? Is this a moment where you should lose your ride? Is this a moment where you should be blacklisted from the sport? I'm guessing one or two of you out there might know what I'm already getting towards. There was recently, I can't remember the kid's name, and he's now running an IndyCar, and I can't stand Dale Coyne Racing for having even hired him. There's that kid in F3, I think it was, who was literally got in an incident with his own teammate with just no remorse whatsoever, and then was caught literally like texting on his cell phone while driving down a hot pit lane. This wasn't practice. This was the real deal. To me, that's the kind of action that you need to be thrown out. There are a lot of people looking for a spot in racing, and if it's one of those bodies that you have to buy your way in to get into, then they should give you your money back and send you walking. Anyway, what am I getting at? What is the point? What is Sean raging about today? Well, MotoGP 2. There was an incident where apparently Stefano Monzi, I didn't see the whole thing, but Stefano Monzi, yes, Ferrucci, yes, Brad, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Ferrucci, who did that with the cell phone and is now running for Dale Coyne Racing in IndyCar. And so Dale Coyne just lost a fan in me. I got to tell you that, that's for sure. Anyway, okay, so Romano Fanaati got run off into the gravel by Stefano Monzi. Following that, he caught up to him, and here's the video of what he did. You see him reach over and grab that brake lever. Did you see what it did to the bike? Look at the bike's reaction. That, you know, there's a Mazda Miata race video where a guy reached over and grabbed the competitor's mirror and tilted it. And I'm thinking, you know, those guys are all probably pretty friendly with each other. I'm sure that was all in fun and games amongst racers. This, however, was blatantly intentional. And you think of, you know, racing is so dangerous. So dangerous. I mean, lose your life, especially on two wheels. I can't even imagine somebody doing that to me. And what I mean, quite honestly, if after this race Fanaati went over there and shot this guy in the knee with a gun, I can understand. I'm not condoning. I can understand the emotion. Like, to me, that is a, oh, you want to fight to the death, huh? Okay. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts? Should he continue to race? Is this justified? Is it all fun and games? What would you do? He was given a black flag. That was the total consequence of his actions. But to me, that's the kind of thing where, honestly, if I was in charge, you're out of here. I'm sorry. You're out of here for 3 races minimum. I don't know the exact call. That's my opinion. What would you do? What would you do to Romano Fanaati? Would you do nothing? Yeah, ban him for the full season. I just, again, there is just no excuse for doing that. Well, see, Heiko, you say that, and, you know, I distinctly, you know, back in the day of bike racing, me and my crew, we used to do some crazy shenanigans, but the difference is it was all in fun and games. This was, like, downright deliberate and, I mean, geez, nasty. License gone forever. Heiko, I wouldn't even, I agree. I can't, it's like, I don't know. So, anyway, I just thought that was something that doesn't, again, apply to sim racing, but something I thought was kind of cool. Not cool, but something worth discussing, I should say. Ban him forever, says John Serrell. Yes, yes, I'd understand. If the punishment came down extremely harsh, I wouldn't have issue with it. But yeah, he could have killed somebody. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to sim racing, which is always going to bring a smile to our face instead of a frown. Forza Motorsport talking about Forza Horizon 4. We have the full car list and the soundtrack of all the songs in the game. And if you want to know everything, here's the whole list. I'll just go through. We got some A-Bars, some Acuras, Alfa Romeos. Oh, an AMC Gremlin and Javelin. AMC Transport Dynamics, the Warthog. They're calling that AMG. Ariel, as in the Atom. We're just into the A's. I mean, scroll down a bit and we get down to F, Ferrari, sure. Ford, sure. Anyway, very, very extensive list of cars, as you can see in Horizon 4. And then here's the soundtrack, which I'll never hear a single note of, because if I play the game, I guarantee you I will turn off the music or my streams would get banned. So I don't get the pleasure of the music. It's like it's a bait. It's like a bait car. Like, here's a car with keys in the ignition, jump in and steal it. Same thing. It's like they give you all this cool music, but if you play it, you lose your stream. F1 is just talking about what we talked about on Friday, that they've had a very good year and it comes of in terms of sales. So they're talking about being #1 in Germany, UK, Germany, that's France, right? Yep. Italy, Spain, yep. Who's red and white? Austria, sorry, Switzerland, right? Yep. Belgium, France, Netherlands, sorry, Netherlands, Denmark, and Finland. But they have a whole write-up here at their Cody's blog. The team said nothing of it. Not on our bikes. Yes. His contract will be terminated. Perhaps. But do you even have to wait? Let the other riders vote. Spatial, he had run him off the road, is what I read. I didn't see that part of it. But I had read that he got run off into the gravel. So this was sort of a retaliation, or perceived to be a retaliation. Anyway, in that blog, they go on to talk about taking the top of the podium and having a very good year, and some quotes from the VP of Publishing talking about that. What else do we got? I had told you about all the Mercedes AMG e-racing competition going on at Race Room. So over the weekend, the 8th race happened. And we can take a lead. Kevin Siggy, look at that. Kevin Siggy and Dika Rama Molana and Jack Keithley. Julian Kuntz in 4th. Benke Bonke. I can never say his name. I'm sorry. And this guy, keep your eye on this guy. That guy is going to be, you're going to hear more and more about that kid. He is really, really fast. And then they have a video, of course, on Facebook, but you'll find it at the Race Room Twitter page. And you can find the replay from the Mercedes AMG eSport racing competition. So you want to see some of the best of the best. You know, a lot of the guys and I were talking over the last week in preparation of our endurance race that we have coming up. And everybody said, whatever you do, you just got to go... who are we using as our example? Come on, Sean, brain mush. Why? George Weissman. If you're going to go, if you want to learn how to be fast in the Ferrari 488, just watch George Weissman do it. So all of our guys were telling everyone, just try to get in the room when George is there so you can watch his driving line. See what he's doing, learn what he's doing, because he is doing it smooth and fast. Same thing, you know, you watch some of this eSport stuff, and you're going to see how the best of the best in sim racing get around the track and deal with racing conditions. Maybe it's not the ideal view because it's a TV camera, but you're going to see the racing and how they handle situations. Codemaster's talking about Onrush SummerSlam Week 3 content, so you can get the Sam Bucket List, the Interceptor Greaser, and the Tombstone Great White, whatever that means. I have not played Onrush yet. The next thing we're going to talk about is the ADAC, the ADAC Sim Racing Expo. September 14th through 16th. So that's 4 days away, people. 4 days away. 2 days after the release of Assetto Corsa Competizione Stage 1. That's Mitchell de Jong. I know him. Anyway, the Sim Racing Expo 2018 is going on September 14th through 16th. This is going to be the biggest, best one yet. And so what we also have is various different companies promoting it. So R Factor with the cool, I like their way of advertising. Forgive me. No, I'm not going to vote for your candidate. Stop calling. But R Factor 2, they're going to be there. You can check out R Factor 2 and maybe get some things that we're not even seeing yet. Maybe they'll have something secret just for Sim Racing Expo. In addition to that, we have a cool write-up here at Sim Racing Hardware News Test blog, and it gives the full list. Here's who's going to be there. Fanaati, SimTag, Torrent, Force to Motion, Sim Department, Race Room, VRL, SimLab, Porsche, iRacing, Carrera, Kunos, Drift, Real Racing Simulator, Acto Racer, I believe that's a motion simulator, Vasaro, Wave Italy. You want to see those Wave Italy pedals I've used? They're going to be there with their full simulator. R Factor 2, MSim, that other motion simulator, Tony Sport, JCL, UpRacer, Hussenveld, Motion House, AbSima, and SimU Kit. So, this is R Factor 2 has announcements for each day. So, yeah, it's going to be the place to be. I wish that I was attending this. So, there you go. What else on ADAC? I think that's it. I might have one more on that. Sorry. 3 announcements coming from R Factor 2 Studio 397 during the Sim Racing Expo 14th through 16th. All right. We talked about that crew, that big versus competition. Nani Roma, Alex Haro against Ari Vatanen and Pedro Bianchi. Anyway, here's a press conference with the guys talking about Dakar, Rally the Game, and some shots of them actually getting down to work and doing their competition. So that's what the competition looked like. Ooh, I don't know that rig. Those are the backside of Thrustmaster pedals. So we can assume it's a Thrustmaster wheel in their hand. Triple screens. Running it on the PC. See, this is the PC version. And that is relevant because... well, and here is the whole group taking a photo at the event. But isn't today the day that you can... Where's my Steam? Hold on. Bear with me. No. I'm thinking of something else. I'm glad I double-checked before I spoke. But anyway, there they are with their copies of Dakar ready to go, playing on the PS4 copy, but they are on the PC here for this event, and you can check that out at the Dakar Rally official Twitter feed. What else we got? What else? Competizione, just in case you forgot, how could you have forgotten? But we're 2 days away, 11th, 12th. 2 days away from Assetto Corsa Competizione. You'll be able to drive that Lamborghini. It's the only car you're going to be able to drive in the first stage, but if you want to get it on the cheap, you're going to want to get it as of now or the 12th so that you can get it at that pre-release pricing, basically, which is $20 cheaper than full release, if I'm not mistaken. Race Room has a bunch of articles that just came out over the weekend. A statement from Marco Massaruto, the lead man at Competizione, so just a little thoughts on everything going on from his perspective. In addition to that, also at Race Room, they have the rating system explained. So if you want to know how the whole ranking and what it's going to take into account, how it's going to judge and score you and put you on the various different leaderboards that they have, that is kind of spelled out in that. And also an article on aerodynamics. So what kind of aerodynamics modeling, I mean, and in here they've talked about the physics, they've talked about the tires, you know, and now they're talking about the aerodynamics of Competizione. But forget what they say. In 2 days, we'll be able to judge for ourselves. A lot of you guys have peripherals that are driven by software. Could, in the case of Sim Racing Studio and their products, it could be wind simulators. It could be shakers, transducers, that kind of feedback. Sim Racing Studio did just do an update, and with that update, there is now support for F1 2018. So everybody's using a wind simulator, maybe even some certain displays. I can't remember their sim, their whole sim shaker kit. I can't remember what that one's called. Shake kit. How could I forget? Shake kit. Anyway, so that's good news for those people. You might want to go get that and get going. Couple quick articles here. Just Tech Power Up talking about the NVIDIA 20 series could be segregated via lack of RTX capabilities in lower tier cards. So this whole RTX, which it seems like it's going to take a while for this to really get phased in. The hardware needs to come out. The software needs to pick up the pace to utilize the new card. And then even in the case of the card, it might need to go through an upgrade or something. But looks like to get full use of that, it's only going to happen on the flagship or top-tiered cards for those looking to take advantage of RTX. And this is no surprise, but I'm just like, wow, I'm so done with pre-orders. I don't need the war horse. Forza Horizon, I don't need the war horse. You know what I need to hear? I need to hear whether your game's good or not. Now, if you're a franchise follower, it might not matter as much, but for Forza Horizon 4 pre-orders are tracking well ahead of expectations, says Microsoft. So it shows the amount of need there are for quality driving games in the world. I mean, really, you put out a good game at this point. It seems like the sim community has gotten large enough. You put out a decent game and you're going to sell. I mean, look at F1 2018, top of the charts. Xbox Hub talking about MX versus ATV, all out, getting more tracks via the Arena Cross DLC. So this is some DLCs that's going to really expand on the game, and if you have that, I've never played it, so I don't know. V-Rally is coming out on the 25th, so 15 days away from the PC edition of V-Rally, but it actually came out today, I do believe, on the Xbox and the PlayStation. The least talked about, and I hope nobody's reaching out and grabbing anybody's brakes, be a little less life-threatening, that's for sure, but Christian MM17 wins the dramatic semi-final #1. So we talked about everything building up. If you go to MotoGP, it's actually esport.motogp.com. Under news, they do have a video with the full show, so you can get an idea of the kind of presentation that they put on. I mean, look at this. This is a big deal. And the reason I talk about the least talked about, because it's like they're really not doing a lot of marketing hype. I mean, if I'm following it here via this website, but I'm not hearing much about it. And I guess the motorcycle side of sim racing is so different. It's none of the names that we would know as the contestants. No, Darren, they can't. And that's, I find, very annoying, especially in racing. You know, again, maybe in Call of Duty it's a different story. But, yeah, a little shocking. This is our photo of the day, and I just love seeing a great lineup of people in full concentration. And look at how many, I can't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I count no less than 14 people lined up racing right here. And what we're looking at is that big event that went on in Spain that we talked about. This is actually the event played out, the North World Sim. And this is at Montmeló Circuit in Spain. And it was a giant competition that went on. Look at all the people. And that one says Circuit de Catalonia. I mean, Barcelona. And look at the magnitude of this event. That's not the photo we were looking at before. This is a different photo. So anyway, this is something that I absolutely would have loved to go to. Maybe one of the biggest live events that I've ever really seen. Anyway, I thought that was worth seeing, and you can check that out. That was actually at simracers.es. Driving Italia has a write-up on the TCR Pack V2 by the Rollovers for Assetto Corsa. This is just like the WTCR content that is on Race Room. Now, I know that all the makes are identical physics, so there's no difference between the way this Subaru handles versus this Audi. So you're looking at 6 different car models, all sharing the same physics in order to make really nicely matched competition, I guess. But this is something that is now available, V2 of that mod for Assetto Corsa by the Rollovers. Article at Autosport talking about, remember those brothers we talked about, the Saltunk brothers, Salih and hold on, it's Salih and Sonic Saltunk, and the addition of Albert Vanderwall. But anyway, they have an article here talking about how they want revenge after 2017 disappointment. And I'm not going to turn this into a rant, but these are 2 guys who were pulled outside of the draft because they didn't earn their way, hence the disappointment in 2017. So these guys, and you know what? I know these guys' names because they are very, very fast drivers. So I'm sure we'll hear great things. These are 3 of the guys who are going to be involved in that F1 2018 eSport that's going on. Forbes. The only reason I brought this up is because it's at Forbes. NASCAR Heat 3 review in search of higher spot on the podium. This comes to us from Forbes, talking about NASCAR Heat 3. I guess my point is, if you want to see how big gaming is, you want to see how big even sim racing is starting to get. We are growing at an exponential rate right now, I guarantee you. But basically, we can scroll down and see they're good. On the good list, they had... get that out of my face. Racing remains the best part of the package. That's good. It's a driving game. It should be. Dirt is fun and different. Challenges, and it's challenging. Career mode is deeper. Blah, blah. Bad. They say still room for visual improvement. So I haven't checked it out yet. Billy Strange. Don't touch Heat 3. Worse than last year's. I was just going to say, Billy Strange probably has some thoughts about Dirt 3. Heat 3, sorry. You know, I didn't have much expectations of that one either. Yeah. And that takes us, wow, I'm at the end of the news already. It's only 9:23. What are we going to do? This is impossible. All right, I got stuff to talk about. Let's talk about the Sim Pit Truck Series. If you think that you've joined the series, you basically should have already, or will be getting in the next, there's like 4 people who sent me an email over the weekend. But you should have already been added to the email list. You should have already been sent an invite, and you should already feel like you're involved in the series. We begin next Friday at 6 p.m. Billy Strange, last year's champion, he actually made a promo video. This is airing at Billy Strange Racing. I have it uploading at the Sim Pit as well, but if you want to see it first, you can go check it out at Billy Strange Racing. And it's a promo for, hey, wait. There it is. Okay, sorry.
Greetings, this is a promo video for the Sim Pit iRacing Truck Series. This is an 11 race series that takes place over 12 weeks. That obviously means there's a bye week in there. It is for the Petit Le Mans, and I just wanted to do this to let everybody know that you should join us on the track. It is a great time, great group of guys.
And you can check that out. I'll have that video on our channels here in just a few minutes as well. But if you want to see it now, go over to Billy Strange Racing and you can check it out. But more importantly, if you want to run Friday night, 6 p.m. in the trucks with us, be sure to email me, Sean@thesimpit.com, and I will get you on the list, or be part of the patron group, and you'll automatically be on the list that way. But this does start, not next Friday, I'm sorry. That starts this Friday. It is next week. It starts this Friday, people. So, yeah, we are 4 days away from that. Thank you for doing that video, Billy, and I'm totally looking forward to that series. I mean, big time. And that does take us to the end of the show. We're still a little short on time. That's okay. I got a lot of things to do. I got to catch up. I didn't get as much work done over the weekend as I was hoping for. So I'll just have to move on. If you have anything that you think we need to do or cover here on the Sim Pit, you please be sure to email me, Sean, SHAUN at thesimpit.com, and I'll either add it to the show or add it to my list of other projects that we're working on in the background, and you are going to see an increase in content. However, one last warning, and this is just, I'm going to remind you all, I am actually moving again. Again, I am moving. It should be a very easy move. It's not very far. I should have access to the place before, but it means I am going to be going off the air following Wednesday's show. And I hope it doesn't mean that I miss Friday's race, because I'm literally moving on Friday. But I want to start moving the studio in advance to hopefully be able to make that race, get internet hooked up and all that kind of stuff. So I am probably going to be off the air. It's hard for me to know because, yeah, moving sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to be off for a week. I have to rebuild a studio. I have to get moved. I have to get moved in and all that. In all likelihood, it could take a week. It could take longer than that. But I'm hoping to get it done as... Yes, I just moved. It's insane how many times I'm moving. But we'll see. I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say maybe this... No, who knows? Who knows? The nice thing is I don't have to lift a finger. I just have to drive over to my new place. Everything will be moved for me. But as far as the studio goes, I need to do that on my own. Anyway, so Wednesday after the pit stop, I'll be off the air for maybe a week. I like the Nomad. I should just get a camper and do the show on the road. That would be nice. Max gets his own room in the new pad. It's awesome. Anyway, that's going to do it. Now you guys know a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes with me. But yes, once again, we are moving. John, I am open to and will be talking to a couple of different people. Maybe Billy would be interested. That'd be, I'm not sure. But Billy doesn't do the live streaming quite as much. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can pull off in my absence. Just giving you guys a little bit of a warning before it happens. But that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making it fun to talk about sim racing each and every day. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track. Oh, psych! One more thing. Mitchy Hoyer is going to be streaming some F1 2018 career mode. Mitchy Hoyer races that game at 105%. It blows my mind. Anyway, that's going to be coming up right here on the Sim Pit Crew channel in about a half an hour. So be sure to come back and check that out and see some of the best F1 driving you're ever going to see out of Codemasters F1 2018. That is going to do it for today. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.